Hey everyone, it's Anitra again on this monumental day with the inauguration of Joe Biden and VP Kamala Harris. And Tonya and I were just briefly chatting about that, but we'll get into that as the video goes along. But my guest today is Tonya Scott-Hickman. She is an educator for one of the HBCUs, a very well-known one here in Virginia. I don't know if she wants to share which one it is.
I do, Virginia Union University, BU for life, yes.
She's also an entrepreneur and she's a fashionista. So some of the reasons why I wanted to chat with her because of those things, and she's just fabulous, and you can tell. Look at her. Look at her attire. She has her pearls and her chucks honoring Kamala, and she has this fabulous hat on. We were discussing that a bit earlier too. She's like, should I put my hat on? I'm like, of course, it's fabulous.
Yes.
So Tonya, how are you?
I'm great today. As we were saying earlier, I'm even better today. Like today, I just feel a lightening and a sense of, newness and renewal. So I am looking forward to the next 4. Yes.
I know. I think a lot of people feel that. It's just a sense of relief. It's like hopefully we will have some unity and not so much chaos and divisiveness. It's just we need to come together as a country. I mean, regardless of how you felt about Joe winning or what your affiliation is, everyone should want that.
Yes.
Some peace and just equality for everyone.
I am just, as far as you talk about entrepreneurship, a lot of things I'm doing, I'm looking to do with the university and the community. I think that's how we met, actually, at Virginia Union University.
It is. Like 2 years ago,
about
right?
2 years ago at an event. I think it was sponsored by the School of Business, and I am actually an associate professor at Virginia Union in the management department. And so I love the university. One, I'm alone. I've been working there for about the last 9 going on 10 years in various capacities. But I think what I enjoy most is probably working with the young people and seeing their innovation and creativity and working with them to see their ideas come to fruition. So that is my passion. That's kind of what I'm doing now, despite all of the other things that I do outside of that that particular job. And it's a career, something I love, so it's really more than a job. But
yeah, like you said, you're passionate about it and just helping the young people just live out their dreams. And some of them are so creative and have so many ideas and things that they want to share with the world. So you're assisting with that, and I commend you.
And many of them, like yourself, are fashionistas, and they just love, the hair and the eyelashes and they make makeup. They do wonderful designs. They make clothes. A lot of the young men, are sneakerheads, and so they found very creative ways to adapt what I call reuse sneakers. They have consignment stores, and they do online, consignment retail, and so there is just a plethora of opportunities out here for people, young people, or whoever. It's just if you have an idea, just work towards it. Be passionate about it. Work on a little bit every day. I know we all don't have the luxury of jumping out of a job or jumping out of our situations and doing exactly what we want to do and just be free and creative. Just a little bit every day gets you closer to.
Yeah, and it makes you happy. It's nothing like, I think I read the other day, and why would you pretty much, I'm just kind of summarizing it, why would you not do what you're put on this earth to do?
Yeah.
Why would you not use your gifts, your God-given gifts? And I agree. I mean, I've run into so many people who are just unhappy with where they are because, I don't know, maybe they don't have the drive or they feel they don't have the tools that they need to achieve those goals and those passions. Whatever the reason it may be, they just don't do it. And they feel like they're stuck in a way.
This has been a difficult year. I think a lot of people have since last March, when the world kind of just shut down all of a sudden, feel or have been looking for that thing that gives them purpose. A lot of us had difficult circumstances. We've had family members get sick. We've had friends, family members, associates pass away from various things, whether it has been COVID or other things. It's just been an unusual year. And then with all the political unrest and social unrest and civil unrest, those things can be overwhelming, even if you're not directly impacted or directly involved in those things. Just looking at them every day and just taking all that in, and with social media, we just have access to so much information, like information overload. That I think we should take some time and just be ourselves, be our authentic selves, and get to know ourselves. I mean, a lot of us are at home, much more than we usually are. Working at home, many of us are home all day, like we don't go anywhere else because we do what we do in our work, we do it from home. So I just think that this is a great opportunity and a time for people to embrace who they are, understand what they're here on this earth to do, or start understanding that. We may never understand everything. We may never harness everything and all the gifts that I think God gives each of us. Very different gifts, but He gives each of us gifts, and then to be able to just use those. Like, how do I use those? I have a great idea. I have a great motivation, a reason for wanting to do something, and that's how I do it. How do I do that? We have a lot of time to reflect since we're at home now, and I think people have been doing that, and I encourage people that if you haven't been doing that, just to do that, to think about it, to spend some quiet time, a lot of time. So spend some quiet time with yourself, and get to understand.
Yeah, I hope people have been able to do that. Those who don't have or didn't have a lot of anxiety or stress were able to do that, to overcome that. I know a lot of people were suffering with that because they didn't know, and they couldn't pay their bills, and it just took over their feeling of security. But if they were able to get to a point, I hope they would do some self-reflection, as you said, and really hone in on who they are and what their gifts are, and how they can use them to serve themselves and others.
Like I said earlier, I just feel such a renewed, as I watch the inauguration today and then watch the faces of the people there. One thing that really struck me about today, and I say all this is because I just see a new day, and I feel like there's so much that's on the horizon that is going to just be good for everyone. I just feel like things are going to change for the better. But as I was watching the inauguration, actually the inauguration was over, and they ascended into the Capitol, and because our former president decided not to be a part of this process, this thing we've been doing for 200 and something years, he decided not to be a part of that. But Vice President Pence stepped up, and it was a part of the, what they just normally do as part of this inauguration ceremony is that the former president, the current president, kind of waves by to the former president, they walk down the steps, but Vice President Pence decides to do that. And the first woman of color, the first, African-American, Asian-American woman, and her husband did that today. So it was a kind of role reversal almost, and when I look at that, I just saw the potential. Okay, and it was very authentic. Their conversation with Vice President Pence and his wife, and Kamala and her husband, was authentic. They shared a laugh, and Vice President Pence and his wife ascended down the steps and then got into the vehicle. But something about that moment just gave me a new sense of hope. Yeah, we can be civil. We can have differences. We don't have to be on the same socioeconomic levels. There are lots of differences, but those differences don't have to make us combative and contrary and you know, just mean to each other. You know, and of course, over time I've learned that you know, differences don't make us have to hate each other.
No, because I mean, differences are what should bring you together. I mean, you should want to hear opposing views. You shouldn't want just to have this echo chamber or just a mirror of reflection of who you are and what you believe. You have to have opposing views for you to grow and to know areas where you can improve and help one another.
Yeah. So today, you know, I'm glad we're having this conversation today, because today was just that kind of day. And I'm just so looking forward to it. I have a renewed sense of being in purpose and what exhale. I can do. I can exhale, you know, and so, and I just love this platform, being able to talk about that, to have some open conversation about possibilities.
Yeah, to have that dialogue. I think that oftentimes it's like, well, people are afraid to voice that. It's like, okay, well, I support this person or I support that person, but I don't know how this person feels about it. But it's like, well, I think that if you engage people and you're coming from a sincere place, and they feel that energy, then they'll open up to you and see where you can have consensus and improvement and how you guys can work together. I truly believe that, because I have friends and I have family members. We have opposing views on things, and I'm like, I mean, that's how it is. Let's discuss it. And I was like, I have some views. It's like, for the most part, it's progressive. I do have some conservative views on something.
Right.
But, I'm not one to be like, oh, well, I'm the judge and the jury. That's not me. I'm not God. So if I like you, I like you. And if I feel like we have that connection and that openness to discuss things, I'm all for it.
So I find, I look back over the people that I associate with and what I do, and they're just so different. They're so diverse. And sometimes, I have friends that say,
you should.
Yeah.
You should have everyone.
Yeah. And I say, well, I welcome everyone into my fold, and I kind of, get to know you, and if it's someone that I want to continue to embrace and be a part of my fold, I do that. I like diversity. I like, discussions, spirited discussions about various things, especially political issues, but just all sorts of things, just life in general, relationships, everything. You and I have had some very fun conversations about relationships and things like that. So I like people. I like talking to people. I like learning new things, and I think that's what life is all about. I mean, who wants to stay the same? So if you don't evolve, if I'm the same person I was when I was 20, then something has not worked well.
Right. Where's the growth?
Right.
You have to be open to learning new things from different people. They can teach you something.
Yep. Everyone can teach you something, even if it's someone that you don't particularly care for, or that you have opposing views. They can still teach you something.
Totally agree with that. I was having a conversation because Sex and the City is having a reboot.
Oh, that was one of my favorite shows.
Or revisit, as JP says.
Yes.
And Samantha's not going to be a part of it. And I was like, that was my favorite character.
She was so open and just free, and
that's what I like, because she had this openness about her.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm not a BSer. Right. I'm a straight shooter.
Yep, straight from the hips.
And you're gonna know how I feel. Mm-hmm. So I love that about her. She was just open about herself. Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm not apologizing.
Right.
This is me. If you don't
unapologetically
me, you just keep walking, right?
Yeah.
But they had this sisterhood, so they were all different, but they loved one another. I mean, they could just have these conversations, these spiritual conversations about everything. They had all their different views about how they felt about it, but in the end, they always came together.
They did.
Always.
They did. And so that's how I save my friendships. I don't talk to my friends every day. And I don't need to, because I can not talk to them, maybe for weeks and maybe even for months, those that don't live close to me or around. And it's like we pick up right where we started, right where we left off. And I think when you make connections like that with folks, that, that builds, gives, adds a certain layer of character and quality of life to your life when you're able to embrace all sorts of people. I always say I have friend groups. Because some friends like some things, and I do some things with one set of friends that I don't necessarily do with another set of friends, but there are no less friends than that set of friends. So I just love life. I really do. I love life, and I thank God every day that I still have my facilities, mental, physical, whatever, spiritual facilities about me. Some people
I mean, we all have our days. It's like I was watching this video of that. So it was one of those TikToks, and this guy was like, he was sitting there. He's like, he went upstairs. As he was walking upstairs, it was his brain sitting there, and his brain. Like, what did I come up here for?
Yeah.
So his brain was like, what did you come up here for? Your blender?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, what did I come up here for? He was like, okay. I'll tell you what you came up here for when you get back downstairs.
Oh, wow. So
and that's how it goes. You forget what you went upstairs for. You get back downstairs. Like, that's
what
exactly.
It was.
Right.
Or when you're looking for your phone is like in your hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or your glasses. People are like, where are my glasses?
They're on your head, right, top of your head.
Here.
Yes.
You have those moments, but everyone has them, so it's all good. All good. So we need to talk about, your love of fashion.
Yes. So I'm gonna tell you a little story. So my life, your life is always already ordained by God, and He kind of knows the trajectory of it, even though we may have something different in our minds. And so, for years when I was a kid, I used to put together notebooks and cut out fashion, and I did this for years. So I was the only child too, and so when you're the only child, you become very creative because you don't have anyone else to play with. And when we were growing up, we didn't have social media, we didn't have all that. We had 3 stations on the TV, and
6, 8, 12.
Yeah, and you didn't have your own TV, so you had to watch what somebody else was watching, your parents. So you become very creative. So I used to write, but fashion was always a love of mine. The one thing I could get my grandmother to buy me was magazines. Have this Vogue or Can I Please? And they were like treasures to me, And then, once I got more, I would start cutting them out. And I had books and books and books. I wish I had them, but books and books and books of fashion. So when it was time to go to college, this was in the mid-'80s. And, as little black girls talking about going to New York to be a fashion designer, nobody was saying that's not what you want to do. So, I kind of put that in the back of my mind. But I was always into fashion. Like, I would do hair shows for some of the stylists in the area. I would do fashion shows. I wasn't a mommy, of course. I wasn't tall. I was slim, but I wasn't tall. But I would do little shows and little things in the area. I put together fashion shows and events and things like that. My own personal fashion sense has changed over time. I used to be. So, when you're in 20s, because you have the body, you say, kind of more sexy. As you get older, get a little bit more conservative. When I was into my, really getting into my career, I did nonprofit, and of course I've been in academia, so it's a little bit more conservative. And now that I guess I'm over 50, I just feel freer about who I am. And, my fashion does not have to necessarily fit the box that people want to put you in. And so some days I'm chucks and pearls, some days I'm boots and ripped jeans, and some days, well, I haven't been able to in the last year because I haven't gone anywhere, but really, but you know, 6-inch heels and Louboutins and, you know, furs.
All the heels.
So it just, I miss the heels. So, you know, I don't even know if I can still walk in heels.
I
But
can't even really wear my heels anymore. Now,
Yeah.
I have them on this.
yeah,
today.
those are awesome. Those are awesome.
But
you
I
can still wear them.
sprained this ankle, and it's
Yeah.
harder.
To
And I'm
heal
like,
you. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, and so I just always loved it, and I think I still do. Like I just hoard magazines. To be honest, I hoard fashion magazines, and I, you know, look through it, and I love it today because nothing seems to conform to anything. Like you wear
It doesn't.
colors with different colors that you would never have put on together before. Like honestly, I probably would never have put this hat color on with red, white, and blue.
why?
Yeah, because you know it says you should have on blue hat or red hat because you have on red, white,
But it's a
and blue.
neutral.
But
neutral
it
goes with
is.
everything.
It is. But you know that was just kind
Yeah.
of conforming. It's very matchy. But when I look at they're using different
Yeah.
colors and patterns
Oh,
and
yeah.
stripes together, I just see that as being free. You know, just I am who I am, and so fashion to me is an expression, definitely of who you are. I just
I did. It really is an expression. And a lot of people feel free through fashion.
do fashion. Yep.
It's like, oh, well, how do I feel today? Oh, I feel a little more adventurous, a little more sexy, or another day I'm going to feel a little more conservative, or more bold on another day. So it's like you may go out with a little skirt.
Yeah,
know?
yeah, high boots or something. Yeah. So you know that's what connected me with you because I'm telling you what you had on. You had on a black outfit and you had on yellow shoes and you had tied your shoes around your pant.
Right,
And I was
yeah.
like, I was like, yeah. So you look so tall and stately, and so yeah, I was like, she definitely has my type of fashion sense.
That's good that you're just open to that. And use it for what it's intended for. Freedom of expression. I think that's been a hot topic too with some people. They're like, oh, well, this person should wear this, this person should wear this. It's art.
It is.
You know.
It is. That's a very good way to say
Yeah.
it. Our hair is too. So I love your hair.
Thank you.
About a year and a half ago, I went totally blonde. Like I bleached my hair.
Yeah.
And people were looking at me. I felt so free.
I bet it was cute.
I was like, you bleached my
I need to see the pictures.
Yeah. And it got, you know, because at first my hair is really dark, and so, you know, it was a little yellowish bleach, but, you know, you had to over time lighten it. And by the time I got it to where I wanted to, I loved it. I just loved it. You know, I mean, a lot of people actually loved it. I think men, especially African American men, like very conservative hair.
Think so?
Something, some of them, and you know, that was just like, you know, I had a friend at the time who I don't think he liked it. Okay, I love it, and then I cut it like really short, and it was curly and blonde, and that's really where I was trying to go.
Yeah.
But you know, I sometimes with fashion go through in, and then my mind changed. And I was like, I'm gonna go back to brown. I'm gonna let it grow. I'm gonna do so. So that again to me is a fashion expression, an expression of who you are. Your hair is who you are.
It's all of it. Oh my God. As a whole, it's a statement.
It is a thing.
And with me doing this, well, one reason I did it was because I was just sick of my hair. Like I don't want to be bothered with my hair,
Right.
and I wanted something protective. I wanted something long and something cute. So I'm like, okay, and I got a, I think it was a text. It's like, would you be my model? Yeah, I'll be your model. Okay, when and where?
Yeah.
Let me know. So I don't have to worry about my hair for a little bit. And once I take them out, I don't know what I'll do. But that's just part of my expression too.
Right.
I like to change up my hairstyle. I like to change up my wardrobe. I like to change the hair color. That's just how I express myself.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't like it, then that's their problem.
Yeah, yeah. And again, That's definitely where you and I connect. It's like, okay, I like it. You know,
Exactly.
I like who I am. I like how I look, and so.
And that's why some people, they feel like they don't want to go out into the world sometimes, and they have these bold, great ideas. They don't want to go out and put it out in the world because people are so judgmental. And they're like,
The naysayers.
what are you doing?
The naysayers give me energy. When
Yeah.
someone says
Good.
no,
Good.
I'm like,
For some people who aren't so secure, or they're trying to figure out, especially a young person,
oh yeah,
they're trying to navigate, figure
The
out
world and
themselves
who
in
they
the
are.
world. It's very discouraging. So they're like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should just go and do corporate. Nothing wrong with corporate. That's
No.
totally fine. But
Yeah.
you know, then they feel kind of beaten down, and it's like they don't want to continue on that path. So then they stay stuck for a bit.
So the world has changed a lot. Even the last year, I think that traditional anything is not traditional. You know, I hear people talk about when we're going to get back to normal. This is normalized. This is our new norm. And so, talking about young people, you know, young people need to see people like you and I who encourage them to be their authentic selves and not box them in and not say that, well, that idea is, you know, too way over here. You know, when I, as an entrepreneur, when I think of things like simple things like the what would Jesus do bracelets, who in the world would have thought that would be, you know, that would become iconic almost. And it's been 10 to 12 years since I believe the biker that he was a world renowned biker, and his name escapes me right now, but he started that trend with those bracelets, and they were yellow. What would Jesus do? Bracelets.
I may know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah. And his name escapes me right now, but that's just, you know, to think that small, I don't know where he got that idea from, but that has become, again, iconic.
I know, when you see that acronym, WWJD, it's like, you know exactly
You know
what it is.
Yep. And those braces, I mean, before that, who wore rubber bracelets? I mean, like, really.
I know,
Who did
people
that?
use them for other things
Other
too.
things now,
you know, a lot of other
yeah.
things.
So, and so I just encourage, no matter how crazy I may think it is, you know, I just encourage just to work towards it when you have an idea.
Yeah.
You know, everything, when you think about how we deliver groceries today, when you look at Amazon, I remember 20 years ago, I was in an investment club, and I tell this story because I'm like, I could actually probably maybe be a millionaire by now, but I wanted to, Amazon started as a bookstore, an online bookseller. And as traditional bookstores kind of went away, or you had the big box stores took everything over, you know, Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, and things like that, you had Amazon, an online bookseller. And back in the day, you know, their stock was $1, $2, $8, $10. And I remember I was like, you know, we should really buy Amazon. And nobody saw that vision. They were like, they're iffy, you know, they're a new company, we might not. I was like, first of all, it's cheap. I said, yeah, it's just a new concept. And
Look at them now.
I know. I was like, I remind them sometimes. I said, you know, and so,
he was the richest man in the world. Now it's Elon who's taking over, but
yeah, but it's, you know, and it's amazing. All those things started as somebody's idea that was totally new, that no one had ever done before.
very innovative.
Very innovative. And Facebook. I mean, who would have thought who would have thought that a social media thing, I mean, revolution would have happened with an idea a guy had in college? You know, and so I think we just need to encourage, especially our minority students, is to think outside the box, to be entrepreneurial, to chase that dream, you know, just keep working.
Yeah, to continue to be bold and brave.
Yeah. In a world that sometimes does not embrace you as a person.
Right.
And certainly may not embrace your ideas. But just keep doing it anyway. I think young people are definitely you know, they set the social culture of the world. They really do. Older people may do other things, may set policies, but the young people set
They're
the
influencers.
culture. They're definitely cultural influencers, and so and they're just so, I just look at them in amazement because they just know so much. They just
And
they're
have
able to
this,
do so much. Yeah,
they're
like
so free in certain aspects. They're
Yeah.
like, they're in a way they are children, but you know how children are, like babies, toddlers. They just absorb everything.
they do, and then they
you
come up
just
with something
move
new,
them. Yeah.
and it's just like, wow, how did I think of that? And so I really saw that this year during the kind of civil unrest after George Floyd's death, and just how bold and outspoken they became, and they sounded so very, articulate, and they knew their stuff, and they, talked about stuff that I wouldn't think they would know, about history and how we've come this far but still haven't gotten, feeling like we still haven't gotten where we need to
Right.
be. And just the word, I listened to the words, the young lady who did the poetry today. Just so she's 21 or 22, and just listening to her words, they were just so impactful in how she uses words and expressions, and I just love them. I do, and so
They
I
give
think
you energy.
they give me energy, and I think that's why I continue to work at it, to stay at university level, because I could go anywhere, honestly. I've done corporate, I've done nonprofit, but this is where I feel like I can go ahead and can really, really make an impact. Yeah, they do. They give me some energy and some life. They do. Yep.
They motivate you.
They motivate me, and they motivate me because I still have lots of ideas and things that I want to do. And as you get older, you kind of slow down because it takes a little bit more energy to do some things. But I
still
get
have that
renewed
zest.
energy. You
You
still
have
have
that
that zest
zest.
for life, yeah.
Yeah.
But I get that renewed energy from
Them, yeah, because they have a lot, and they have all these great ideas and things that they want to do, how they want to change the world
and
impact the
technology, and
world.
how they use technology. It's amazing. Like, I don't even know half the stuff that can really be done on Facebook and all these social media sites, and then I listen to my daughter and her friends and college age kids and just what they do. Do that?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's something. So I know you talked about them giving you energy and motivating you, and you're in this great space, but you are working on some other things, aren't you?
I am, and so
You want to share, or you want to?
I'll share some things. Yeah. So things I've been working on for years. Let me just say, is I love genealogy. So I've been working on family genealogy for like years. I have so much stuff in boxes and everywhere, and I love old pictures and going through vintage things. And so that's a personal project I'm working on, but I'm working on it for my family. Like one day I'd like to be able to leave my family this genealogy chart, this book with all this information, and just say here. And I'm doing it for my children as well, because I'm to be honest, when I was younger, even though we had a lot of elders, we had a really big family. My grandmother had 6 siblings, and my mother had 6 siblings, and it was just so we had a large family. And what I have seen is that the generations under us have not been as close as we were when we were kids and families, because we got the ability to move away and be in suburbs and go more opportunities, and we aren't together as close as we used to be. But I think social media has helped that, because we've reconnected through social media, and we stay connected like that. So that project for me is close to my heart. Is to making sure that my children and my children's children and their children's children know where they came from. And then I've written a book for my daughter. I have Pia, who is my second daughter. She was born with cerebral palsy. But she was always an inspiration because as a kid, she never thought there was anything she couldn't do. Even though she was physically challenged, she was like, I want to be on the cheerleading squad. I want to play volleyball. I want to do, and I was just like, and she never, in her mind, she could just do whatever.
She had no limitations.
Right, that she could just still do whatever thing everybody else could do. And I always just felt like I have to do something to kind of honor that. And so I've written this children's book, and I won't say the name of it yet because I've been writing it for years, and I want to get it. But this is the year I feel like I gotta finish that project. I honestly started it when she was a kid. She's now 30. And so it's like I gotta finish that and get that done. And then there's many. You and I have talked about some things going on. I have a project that hopefully you'll be helping me and my partners on. I'll reserve the name of that for later.
Yes.
And actually, you attended one of our events, and hopefully you enjoyed it. This year we plan on amping that up and having more events, and we hope that that's something that's going to catch on. So yeah, and I teach 5 classes.
What are those 5 classes?
Yeah. So I teach 5 classes, but I enjoy it. And there are things in the school of business. I am doing a pitch competition, a virtual pitch competition, probably in April. Hopefully I'll be able to have another conversation with you about that, and maybe you'll be a part of it. So I'm looking forward to that. And so our semester just started last week, and we are rolling along in my entrepreneur management class, and any of the other disciplines at Virginia Union are going to be invited to be part of that process, that pitch process. So yeah, lots of stuff going on.
Lots going on.
Yeah. So even though I say I'm old and I'm slowing down, maybe not.
She's still going. We are back, guys,
yes.
And we have some wine just to commemorate
today.
And here's to unity and diversity and peace and harmony to everyone.
Here.
Here's to President Biden and VP Harris.
Yes, yay.
This is our favorite, right? One of our favorites.
This is our favorite.
Yes. It is.
Sweet red.
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, well, Tonya's coming by. I need to get some wine. Some sweet wine.
Some sweet wine. Yes.
Right. The sweet stuff.
Sweet is the operative word.
Yeah.
For me.
I can't do dry wine, guys.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It gets right here. And I'm like, oh, what is this? So I can't.
So my issue is that I was saying I have a sweet tooth, and so wine would follow that sweet tooth. So yes, my wine has to be sweet, whatever. So I'm a Moscato kind of girl.
I am too. More dessert wine.
More dessert type wines.
Yeah.
Stella is one of our
I think a lot of people really love Stella. So I don't know who's behind the whole Stella Rosa line, but cheers to you.
Cheers. Like they have an awesome blueberry one that I had. They have like flavor.
I think I tasted that one. I've tasted quite a few.
Yeah. And then they have a pineapple something. Yeah, so they've captured a market. They have captured a market. I think women like, and I think it's because I don't think men drink Stella Rosa. Men don't drink wine that much, but they definitely captured the female adult.
Oh, they did their homework.
They did.
So again, cheers to you guys. And Tonya and I think we're about to wrap it up. Anything you want to expand on that you're doing, you're interested in?
Well, one of my projects, I think I mentioned earlier, hopefully will include you and your branding team. And actually we're looking forward to working with you all to give us that right look, and so that we can make, this project that we're hoping is going to really blossom, come to fruition. What else? I'm working with a mutual friend of ours on some entrepreneurial education kind of opportunities in some areas. So I'm looking forward to that, and I just, again, at the beginning of this conversation, we just talked, I just expressed how I just feel renewed. Like, today there's just like a new energy, of a new feeling of hope, and okay, we can move forward and I think heal, really, that we just need to heal. And,
you have this new zest for life.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel it too. Like I said earlier, it's like you can exhale. I felt like it was just so much chaos.
Chaos and stress.
I was like, I want a time again, and I feel we'll have that, where the presidency is boring.
Right.
I mean, I want
all
that.
the dramatics and the like. I just want you to be the president.
Theatrics is, I don't need that in my president. I mean, like he said today, he's going to be a president for everyone, and hopefully, I feel like he will be, because a lot of people did not vote for him, and they have their reasons why, but I feel like he will govern for them as well, as he should, because it's the United States. It's not blue, it's not red, it's all of us. We should be coming together.
Right.
Even though we do have some differences, but we should come together as a nation.
And on the principles of how this country supposedly started, the reason that we have a constitution was that everyone, and I know, there were some other things that happened in our history that thwarted that, and unfortunately we're still impacted by those things. But the basic premises of the Constitution is that everyone is equal, and everyone, it's a just, equal opportunity, and you can live without fear of a dictator or of tyrants, and you just live. You can live free as long as we all follow the rules, follow the basic rules, and those rules go back to the Bible. That
rules and the laws
that's in the Bible, is that you treat everybody right. You don't lie, steal, cheat,
and no one is superior or inferior.
Right.
And that's one of my gripes is, some people feel like they are superior to others, and you're not.
Right.
We're all human. I mean, no matter what our skin color,
we all bleed the same red.
Yes, equally.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't feel like you have such a privilege that you can do or say whatever to other people.
And this pandemic has come, I think, to teach us a lesson that it does not
discriminate.
No,
It
does not discriminate. And so whether you have $300 million and I have $300, that virus doesn't care. About that now. Now, society may give you better medical care than me.
Oh, yeah. We have access to better care.
I mean, access, but it's something, and I think, it's a lesson in what we've had to go through this past year. That you're right, everybody, we're all in this together. We're all in the same boat. As humans, as human beings.
Yes, as humans.
That we are all together. So how do we live together, work together, play together in harmony?
That's the key. How do we do that?
Well, I'm going to keep working on it from my
Me
end.
too. I'm like, I just want peace, and for people to come together. I just don't like all this chaos.
Right.
It seemed like I turned on the news every day. It was like, what is it now? It's something every day, and I'm like, I don't want that. And you shouldn't want that. You should want some peace of mind.
Who likes to operate in chaos?
Well, some people live off. They have to have
and
the drama and the chaos. They have to have that to feel like they're thriving in their lives. Because something's missing.
Yeah.
Obviously.
There is. I don't think that.
No, just to enjoy life.
Glass of
With
wine
good
every
people.
now and then. Good people.
Good people, good friends.
Yes.
Good colleagues.
Well,
All right. So Tonya, tell people how they can reach you. That's how I end my interviews with giving out your information, how people can reach you.
So you can basically reach me at and through Virginia Union University. Again, I am an associate professor of management in the Sidney Lewis School of Business at Virginia Union University. My email is trscott.hickman at buu.edu. Our office number is 804-257-5710, and you can ask for me. Email is the best way. I try to respond very promptly. Looking forward to opportunities, looking forward to meeting you. Anybody that has any great or wonderful ideas that I certainly want to be able to help either provide you resources, to lead you in the right direction, to give you a little bit of encouragement. I am certainly here to do that. So again, I look forward to it. Thank you, Anitra, for this opportunity.
You're welcome.
I look forward to doing this again really soon. And hopefully soon you'll be seeing that book from me, and I'll be having a book signing, because that is one thing that I have put on my bucket list and my vision board for this year, that I get that particular project completed. Yep.
But thank you for stopping by, and you look great. I love the chucks. I love the pearls. I told you.
And you always do. She always looks perfect.
Thank you. So hopefully we'll work together soon and just do another interview, because it's much more to talk about, but we have to end it. Thank you. I've so appreciated, having her here with me and having this great dialogue, and I hope that you guys enjoyed as well. And you know how you can reach out to me. If you don't, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all under NeeChic, and at my website, which will appear right after this video, but it's neechicstyles.com. Until next time.
Peace.
Cheers.